Welcome back to CelebReel, the place where we break down the stories the industry hopes you never hear. If you're ready for another wild chapter in celebrity chaos, buckle up, because today's story hits hard. We're diving into the explosive fallout inside the Harris family. And trust me, this one gets messy fast. King Harris's world just collapsed even further after Tiny finally hit T.I. With divorce papers, and the timing couldn't be more brutal. Sources say she couldn't stomach watching T.I. publicly distance himself from their son after King's latest arrest. And now, the entire family is unraveling in real time. What makes this even crazier? T.I. isn't fighting the divorce. No statements, no pushback, nothing. That silence is louder than anything he could have said. The house is split. Allegiances have formed, and everyone is pointing fingers at King, at the parents, and at the lifestyle that raised him. Fans are stunned because T.I. and Tiny survived cheating scandals, breakups, and reconciliations for years.
Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. He's going to prison. Forget.
But insiders knew a breaking point was coming, and it finally hit in October 2024, the night King's reckless arrest dragged the entire Harris legacy straight into the mud. That night, King flew out of a gas station in his BMW like he was auditioning for Fast and Furious, nearly smashing into a police cruiser, a disaster waiting to happen. And the moment officers pulled him over, things spiraled from bad to catastrophic in seconds. The smell of weed hit officers before King even opened his mouth, and things went downhill instantly. When they spotted a gun tucked into his waistband, the situation shifted from bad to dangerous. But the real bombshell dropped when they ran his name, and an outstanding 2022 warrant popped up. Speeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI still haunting him.
All right, I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
It's guns in here.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You got to take.
There's no safety.
You take
Okay.
the clip out of it.
Well, I'm not going to mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest. I'm going to be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just going to take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
Suddenly, this wasn't just a wild night. It was years of bad decisions catching up all at once. And that explosion is still ripping through the Harris family today. From that moment on, it was nothing but bad news. King could have walked away with a slap on the wrist if he'd just kept quiet. But instead, every mistake in his past came crashing back like a tidal wave. And once that arrest footage hit the internet, the dragging began immediately. You can literally see it on his face, that split second where it all hits him, and he finally realizes he crossed a line even he couldn't talk his way out of.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. That file show.
Come back. Come back.
What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here.
In the 30-minute video, he's not flexing, not yelling, not playing the tough guy. You see this faint look of regret in his eyes, like he knows the only move left is to sit still and cooperate. For someone who built his whole reputation on recklessness, it was shocking. The kid the internet clowns for acting out was suddenly calm, quiet, almost humble. Even the officer holding him commented on how surprisingly composed he was. But calm or not, none of it saved him. He still ended up cuffed, processed at DeKalb County Jail, and then shipped off to Pickens County once that old warrant finally caught up with him. And when the footage went viral, fans showed zero mercy. One person flat out called him a trust fund prison punk, and the comment racked up likes instantly because people thought it was hilarious. Another chimed in saying he thinks his parents' money can save him, but still wants to pretend he came from the struggle. The internet dragged him from every angle.
Hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison. If you got to keep this up, his going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
But here's the twist. King wasn't the only one paying the price. His crash-out moment sent shockwaves way past him. This time, the fallout hit the entire Harris household. What started as an arrest turned into the spark that blew open T.I. and Tiny's marriage for good. The cracks they'd been ignoring for years exploded into a full-on split. T.I. tried to act like the heartbroken father in public, but Tiny was done. She was furious, and she didn't hesitate to come with receipts. In her divorce filings, she didn't sugarcoat anything. She blamed King's downward spiral as the final straw that broke the family apart. And the wildest part? Ty didn't fight it. No begging, no denial, no attempt to fix anything. He just accepted it.
To make him look better, he said it he know not to. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know, I know you capping. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no
Though.
mystery about here.
I know you though.
Man,
I know
get
you
your
though.
black
I know. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
In his mind, he had already done his job as a father. And if King wanted to crash out, then King had no one to blame but himself. Brutal? Yes. But T.I.'s stance didn't come out of nowhere. Back in 2022, when King first started going viral for acting wild, T.I. went online practically begging his son to slow down. He warned him straight up, "You're headed down a dangerous path, and if you don't stop, you're going to end up in jail." T.I. even admitted he'd been telling Tiny and King's grandmother for years that they needed to keep a closer watch on him before everything blew up. And this wasn't empty talk. T.I. had lived it. He'd been to prison, he knew the cost, and he didn't want his son repeating the same mistakes. But Tiny wasn't letting him spin that narrative in the divorce. She fired back hard, claiming T.I. barely acted like a father at all.
Just so motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Nobody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too.
Huh?
Well, when you got drugs, it ain't. I know that. Y'all got drugs around those legal guns.
That called
It's not legal.
possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In her eyes, if he had truly stepped up, been present, and laid down real discipline, King wouldn't have spiraled so far out of control. Instead of protecting him, she argued, T.I. basically let him slip right through the cracks. And Tiny wasn't speaking from thin air. T.I. was in and out of prison from the moment she found out she was pregnant with King. By the time he finally came home for good, King had already grown up in a world where his father was more myth than presence. Even when T.I. was around, it didn't change much. Allegedly, he sent King to live with his grandmother most of the time, almost like handing off the responsibility. And King himself admitted something heartbreaking. Even though his parents had money, he didn't feel like he lived that life, because he wasn't raised in their home.
He just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
He said the only time he stayed at his parents' house was when the cameras were rolling for their reality TV show. Imagine only being welcomed home when the cameras were rolling. With a childhood like that, it's no surprise King went looking for attention and chaos anywhere he could find it. And every time he stepped outside, he seemed to run straight into trouble. One moment that really showed how far he was spiraling came during his infamous Waffle House meltdown in 2022. An incident so embarrassing it became a turning point in how the public viewed him.
You hit me up like, King, I know you tired, you ain't getting no sleep, and the truth be told, before this little I ain't been getting no sleep, you know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle, lifestyle just lifing, you know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house, so.
It all started over something ridiculous. A worker messed up his order and threw pickles on his food when he didn't ask for them. That's all it took. King snapped. He started screaming at the employee, pulled out his phone, and filmed the entire meltdown before posting it online. But instead of looking tough, he looked like a spoiled, entitled kid with zero self-control. Nobody blamed the worker. The internet aimed all its smoke at T.I. for letting his son act like this. So when T.I. eventually made that video publicly warning King about crashing out, Tiny couldn't hold back. In her eyes, all that fatherly wisdom should have been shown years ago, not after King had already embarrassed the whole family. For a moment, things seemed to calm down, but T.I.'s disappointment in King kept brewing under the surface, and eventually it exploded in front of thousands of people. It all boiled over at an Atlanta Falcons game, where T.I. and King got into a heated argument right there in the stands. The breaking point came when King started claiming he didn't grow up with privilege, trying to act like he came from nothing while sitting in VIP seats his parents paid for. That set T.I. off instantly. He jumped in and checked his son right on the spot, reminding him he was literally born with a silver spoon in his mouth. But King wasn't backing down, and before anyone could process what was happening, he squared up and started throwing hands at his own father in the middle of the crowd. The clip exploded online within seconds, and it was ugly. T.I. looked like he was ready to forget he was dealing with his own child and lay him out like a grown man. The internet went wild, and shockingly, thousands of comments sided with T.I. People wrote, "He should have busted him up years ago." That's what happens when you don't check the problem. It eventually comes for you. King's out of control. Pray for their family. But while social media cheered T.I. on, Tiny was furious. She hated that T.I. humiliated their son like that in public, no matter how reckless King had been acting. And things got even worse when she got home and discovered the real bombshell. T.I. had kicked King out of the house completely. No warning, no discussion, just gone. King was suddenly forced to figure out survival on his own, and to Tiny, that was crossing the line. She felt T.I. had gone too far, and that moment carved an even deeper crack in their marriage. The crack that finally pushed her toward filing for divorce. And Tiny didn't stop there. In those papers, she dropped another bomb. T.I.'s constant cheating and violent past. For years, she stood by him through scandals, breakups, makeups, and public embarrassment. She kept forgiving him. She kept protecting him. She kept believing he'd stop stepping out on their marriage. But the lies kept piling up. So when King spiraled into chaos, Tiny wasn't just angry at her son. She was staring at T.I. and realizing something brutal. He was the blueprint for everything King had become. That was the breaking point. Tiny finally cut T.I. off when it hit her that King wasn't carving out some original identity. He was copying his father's exact blueprint. The same jail stints that once gave T.I. his tough guy edge were now the same stints King was chasing for himself. So when T.I. turned around and disowned their son after that messy arrest, Tiny snapped. To her, he wasn't just abandoning their child. He was abandoning a younger version of himself. That's why those divorce papers landed on the table with zero hesitation. And the craziest part? You can see just how desperate King is for T.I.'s approval by the way he constantly flashes guns, beefs online, and leans into a street persona he never needed. After the arrest footage went viral, some fans even claimed King wanted it to happen. That he walked himself into jail just to lock in some street cred and finally get noticed as a real tough guy. The internet didn't hold back. Some said he finally earned the rugged image he'd been chasing. Others swore he was doing all of it for attention, for just a scrap of validation from his dad. And honestly, they might be right, because the pattern was too obvious to ignore. Just look back at when T.I. and Boosie had to check their sons on camera. The energy was identical. King and Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, linked up to shoot a music video. But instead of focusing on the music, they spent the whole time flexing guns like they were running a trap house, trying to perform a lifestyle neither of them ever lived. So you could hear the disappointment in T.I.'s voice as he confronted King, pressing him on why he cared more about looking tough than actually enjoying himself when there were women right there. What started as a warning turned into a full-on lecture. T.I. laid it out raw. One wrong move with those guns, one illegal slip-up, and their entire lives could fall apart in seconds. Both he and Boosie weren't laughing or hyping them up. Their faces said everything. They were dead serious. On the surface, it looked like T.I. was desperately trying to pull King off a path that only leads to prison. But when Tiny heard about it, she wasn't applauding T.I. for stepping up. She was furious. Not because she supported King's reckless behavior, but because she felt Ty was decades too late. In her eyes, King wasn't inventing this street persona. He was imitating the same lifestyle his father displayed for years. And the anger only grew when the next bomb dropped. King's baby mama drama. The final straw came when T.I. casually mentioned on a podcast that he was about to become a grandfather again, thanks to King having another child on the way. Tiny couldn't believe it. To her, it didn't sound like concern. It sounded like T.I. was quietly co-signing their son's chaos, turning a serious situation into some twisted badge of honor. Then things got even messier when rumors started swirling about King's baby mama, Big Nana. Whispers claimed she was way older than him, and some even suggested she only got with him to secure a bag, while he was too young and reckless to see the signs. But King? He didn't care about any of that chatter. He kept moving like nothing could touch him. He was hyped about the whole thing, stepping into fatherhood like it was the best thing that ever happened to him. When his son was born in November 2024, King was over the moon. He leaned all the way into being a dad, posting nonstop, bragging about his baby boy, and showing the world a softer side no one was used to seeing. He even dropped a track called Dear Son, rapping about stepping up as a father. And the caption he posted was pure emotion. November 5th, 8:09 a.m., welcome King Jr. time to take over. For a moment, it looked like King was finally ready to evolve, like fatherhood had grounded him and maybe even saved him. Tiny loved seeing it. To her, the best part was watching King do what T.I. never did for him. Be present, hands-on, and proud from day one. For a minute, it genuinely felt like the cycle was breaking. King wasn't repeating his father's mistakes. He was correcting them. But just as fast as that hope rose, reality came crashing down. Because while King was glowing online, holding his newborn like life finally made sense, his messy arrest footage was spreading everywhere. Every repost was a harsh reminder that no matter how sweet he looked as a new dad, he was still knee-deep in legal trouble and public scandal. Ty tried to play the supportive dad, but the truth kept slipping out. His disappointment in King was impossible to hide. And for Tiny, that was the one thing she couldn't forgive. She had survived the cheating, the violence, the scandals, even the public humiliation. But when T.I. became so ashamed of his own son that he refused to even live under the same roof with him, that's what finally broke her. By the time the divorce papers hit the table, no one close to them was shocked. This wasn't a sudden breakup. It was the final collapse of a marriage that had been cracking for years. A love story crushed under betrayal, resentment, and a son spiraling out of control right in front of them. Tiny is done. No excuses left. No more protecting T.I.'s image. She's walking away from the man she once built an empire with. And this time, she's not looking back. Now the spotlight lands squarely on T.I. What does he do next? Will he finally step up and speak? Or stay silent the same way he did with King, letting the whole Harris empire fall apart on camera? Because right now, it looks like the family might not recover from this one. What do you think? Did T.I. fail as a father? Or did King's reckless crash out destroy everything on his own? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video.